I saw the video of Jeff Hardy, and people that were at the show said that he was in fact getting sluggish. Could be real issues that he's having. Could be a work. Don't know. Not going to speculate. Not going to make accusations. Don't want to be that asshole. But the thought occurred. I mean, his brother's always been credited as being a pretty genius dude, and obviously devious. You have to be good at professional wrestling like that, like Matt is. I had previously speculated that I felt like Matt was doing the things he wanted to do and setting a place for Jeff to show up there eventually at AEW or wherever else they go. You know, they work together in Impact. They hit the Indies together before going back to WWE. Jeff signed with WWE. That's huge money. The fact is, the Hardy brothers share a compound. They have a property where they each have a house, which means that when they're home, they're both home. As far as if it's a real issue, which is also very possible, the fact is, WWE is a toxic, hostile work environment. The boss is out of touch. The controlling board or directors or whatever you want to call it, the corporate aspect, don't understand the business that they're in for the most part. The product itself is inferior and has been for probably a decade now, at least. The only thing it's got going for it is name recognition. And it seemed like what they were doing with Jeff Hardy was the same thing that they were doing with Matt Hardy. The difference being that Matt had tried to make creative changes and they punished him for it. Jeff has just gone along with, because it's a paycheck, apparently. What happened with Matt was he didn't want to be just putting over young talent in his retirement age. And what they did was they instead wrote him off the show by having another major superstar beat him with a chair until that was pretty much it. They beat him with a chair until he vanished from the WWE universe. What they were doing with Jeff, you would have expected them to start pushing some younger talent, but they don't really have a lot of younger talent. They've got their NXT guys. A lot of their younger talent they've just released, and they're changing what they're doing on NXT, so that's not, some place where you take some young people and give them a call up and have them, come wrestle someone like Jeff Hardy. So instead, what they had him doing, instead of putting over up-and-coming talent, they had him put over existing talent who is already over. Again, crazy management. The ownership does not know what they're doing there. Assuming it's a real situation, real demons he's battling, as it were in wrestling parlance, I wish Jeff Hardy nothing but the best. If it's a work, I wish you the best of luck. But like I said, big money or not, WWE and its road experience, I'm sure, is a toxic, hostile work environment. A person like Jeff, who has susceptibilities to certain issues, would do better in an environment that does not backhandedly encourage or enable such issues to arise or to become a problem. While there is all this wellness policy talk and everything else, we've also seen the behind-the-scenes interviews and other stuff over the years talking about things like their steroid scandals and things like that. We know that lots of superstars have become addicted to painkillers. And Jeff had made the statement recently that pills, painkillers, and such were not such an issue, but alcohol was around all the time on the road. That's a problem. That's a problem, right? So here's the thing. Hypothetically, let's say that Jeff makes his way to All Elite. Any travel that happens, basically him and his brother together for the most part. Seems to me the environment of people and the management style of AEW would be one more of making sure that he's okay. So that might include, get him on a vlog crew or something, have him, constantly be running around doing stuff or whatever, to where it just gives him enough time to build the new habit of just not even thinking about it. And because a lot of these folks that work for AEW are pretty straight-laced, some of them are teetotal or straight edge, a lot of them are real athletes that really don't get into that stuff. Although they drink a lot of energy drinks, I suppose, but you get my point. So that being said, I would think that such an environment would be much more conducive to a happy and healthy wrestling career for someone like Jeff Hardy. However, I think it would also take the time, for example, say maybe the time it would take to get through a non-compete clause, to work on getting his feet underneath of himself, getting his head on straight, feeling better, getting healthy, and then seeing what the future brings at that point. But yeah, hell yeah, I would love to see the Hardy Boys together in AEW. I think that the HFO could use that second foundation member like that to really, man, they would take over the company pretty much at that point, I think. So anyways, we'll cut it short there. All the best to the Hardy family. I sincerely hope that everything is well and for the best. And I just wanted to comment on the fact that specifically, I should say the British wrestling commentation community on YouTube are all, same as with Bray Wyatt, acting like it's a goddamn funeral. It is not a funeral. Jeff Hardy is free. Jeff Hardy has been unshackled and is free. Free to get healthier. Free to get better. Free to work with his brother again at some point. Free to do basically whatever he wants without the golden handcuffs of WWE telling him what he can and can't say, what he can and can't do, paying him ungodly amounts of money, I'm sure, or negotiating contracts that are just not quite what you thought, but we settle because name recognition, because we're already here, right? Sometimes people need to change their station in life and they simply needed a catalyst. I don't know. So again, all the best to the Hardy family. And we know the future is bright. The future is bright, so